And now, Effective Communication with Phil Zeller, CEO, Dale Carnegie, Southwest Michigan.
So how often do you find yourself in tricky situations that are challenging? You weren't expecting a challenge, but boom, it laid up just right into your lap, and there it is. I remember several years ago, I had a friend of mine call me up and said, "Hey, I'd like you to come over to my house and check out this car." And I said, "Wow, you got a new car?" They said, "Well, no, I didn't get a new car. I'm thinking about buying this car, and I want your opinion on it because you're a car guy. You like cars. Can you come over and take a look at this?" So I drove over, and I'm taking a look at the car, and I'm asking questions, and I'm not getting any answers. And I'm asking questions about the car. Has it been in an accident? What are the mechanicals on it? And she couldn't answer the questions, and that's okay. She's not a mechanic, and that's why she called me over to take a look at this car. And as I'm taking a look at this car, I notice things on it that don't seem quite right, i.e. it's not been taken care of very well. And this car, even though it's all glossed up and has a fresh coat of wax on the outside, mechanically it is not sound. The brakes are squeaking, and looking inside under the hood, it hasn't been well maintained. Check the oil, check the antifreeze, check the transmission fluid, check everything on it, and it just had not been taken care of. And from the outside, like I said, they really glossed it up. And I said, "So tell me about this car. What is it that you really like?" And she talked about it. Well, the really great thing about it is it looks cool, and I can afford it. And I said, "Well, I hear that. And what about the mechanicals?" And she goes, "I don't know. That's why I called you over." And I said, "Well, let's go back to the place. Did you buy this car?" She said, "No." They said, "Take it home, test it out, drive it, and then bring it back, and I'm going to buy it tomorrow." So I said, "I'll tell you what, let's go back with you. And I just want to ask the person some questions about the car. And so you make sure that you feel comfortable and confident buying this car." So we go back there. And I started asking the salesperson about the car and the history of the car. And I asked about the Carfax on it and all those good things. And there was none of that information. And to him, it really didn't matter. Isn't it a sweet looking car? It looks really cool, and it's within her budget. And that's what matters. And I said, "Well, what matters is all of it. Those things matter. But it also matters that the car is going to function properly and that the car is going to work from a month or two from now. Even though the car payment's great, making a car payment on a car that mechanically isn't sound, that doesn't run, is not so great. So let's make sure we figure this all out." And as I was talking to the sales rep, he really didn't answer any of the questions, and he wasn't willing to answer the questions. He just kept saying, "Well, your budget's kind of low, and this is a really sweet car, and this is really what you want." So he kept trying to appeal to her emotions and get her emotionally engaged, and she was really excited about it, and you could see that was working. But she asked me to be there to talk about the utilitarian side, the realistic side. What are you going to deal with? Because it could look great as a paperweight a month from now sitting in your driveway at your apartment and going nowhere, but then that would be crazy, right? That would be very frustrating. And so as we talked through it, I realized, and I shared with her, and we stepped outside, and I said, "He's not answering any of the questions. He's not answering any of the questions about the mechanicals on this car, the history of this car, won't provide anything on it. I'm not safe with that, because if he knew the car was a good car, he would give us that information. He would give us the Carfax. He would go over the history of it. We would talk about the mechanicals of the car, and he won't even have that conversation." She said, "I did notice that when you were asking those questions." So he was really evading the conversation. And I don't know if you've been in a situation where people do this. My instinct in those situations is just to get out. If the person can't have the conversation with you, and even if they disagree with you, that's okay. That's okay that they disagree, but they've got to have the conversation with you. And Dale Carnegie said, "Fear not those who argue, but those who dodge." Think about that for a moment. Fear not those who argue, but those who dodge. It's the people that won't share with you, that won't go in front of the camera, that won't have the conversation, that don't come out to speak to the public. Those are the people that you have to fear, according to Dale Carnegie. It's not the people who come out and tell you what they think or how they think. And even if you disagree with them, at least you know where you stand with them and where they stand on the topic. And in that situation, we didn't buy that car from that guy because we just didn't feel good about the situation. So as you think about it right now, and you think about these conversations with people, if people are not willing to go there with you, and even if they disagree with you, that's okay. But have the conversation. Feel confident to know that, okay, we may disagree on this, and you even get argumentative with me. That's okay, because you believe what you're saying. And if you believe what you're saying, it means that you looked into it. You care about enough to share that with me. And so that's our challenge, my friends, is in these conversations when things appear in front of us. Fear not those who argue, but those who dodge, because those who dodge are hiding something. And that what they're hiding probably is not beneficial to you. It's beneficial to them. So my friends, be smart, be conscious, be aware, and have those difficult conversations and make sure you get the facts. Now go make it happen.